I am currently interviewing for jobs and really trying super hard to explain who I am. And I noticed something funnily is that if people were just looking at how I live my life, at how my bedroom is organized, how some of my systems work, how some habits and objects that I have are present in my life, they will just understand who I am so easily. And I would not have to even think about telling them a story because I don't know if you ever noticed, but your personality leaks into everything surrounding you. And there is no need for personality tests at all. You can just look at what's around me. There will be plenty of evidence if you just know where to look at and if you just pay attention to the signs. And I found it was a funny exercise for me to try to be a stranger and look at my own life and see, okay, if I look at the way I live and what I surround myself with, can I actually see who I am and do I actually like this picture? So it's a very cool exercise. I suggest you do it as well if you find it interesting. But yeah, the first thing you could look at would be my Spotify playlist. I'm somebody who can I call myself maybe obsessed a little bit, tiny little bit. I'm the type of person who, when you get the Spotify Wrapped that gives you a summary of the full year, I'm the person who ends up being in the 0.001% of one singer specifically. It happened to me like 2 years ago where I was listening to Purity Rings because I heard it in a coffee shop one time and I just Shazam it and I got the song and I was like, listening to that on repeat the whole month in January. Never listen to them again for the rest of the year. But still, at the end of the year in November, when Spotify gave me the summary, he was like, "You are the really top fan, and they are thanking you for it." And I'm like, "Who are these people? Who are these singers again?" And this is something that I notice a lot in music and also with other things. Actually, I can get very obsessed, like I'm really all in or I'm all out and I completely forget that they exist. But this is something that I really notice about myself. I believe this is coming from neurodivergence and from the way my brain is wired to really have very strong obsession or very strong emotional attachment to something. And then from one day to the other, it's poof, it's gone. So it's very seasonal. It happens the same thing if I want to learn about a topic. I tend to go like really all in and get completely absorbed and completely obsessed. This even happened when I was starting this YouTube challenge of daily videos. From the beginning, I was like, okay, now I just realize I'm spending so much time on it. And this is this is part of me. I'm somebody who is obsessed and somebody who is going to give it all to really get into the world of something or really get absorbed into a specific topic. And yeah, I think that's a good thing. That can also be a bit scary or can also create burnout. But overall, it's something that really helps me just give it all, and I like it about myself. And another system I use is ClickUp. That's something that will probably show you if you were going into this, that I'm a very structured person, very organized. It's where I have my entire life plan is in there. So I have my personal goals, professional goals, all the things that I need to do on a weekly, monthly basis. Everything's in there. I have a dashboard to track the different areas of my life, what I want to achieve in there, like what are my vision, what are the things that would feel meaningful to me. And I track this every single week. And everything else I'm doing, like, my job search is in there. My health habits are planned as well in there. Anything I do for content creation is planned in there. So I've basically over the year organized this. And what's interesting is that it's not just for productivity that I'm using that. It's really for also emotional support, I would say, because you will see, for instance, if I have a goal, I will have written somewhere, why am I doing this? So just having a kind of clarity of purpose or whatever is the reason why I started that. So I can read, if it's on my to-do list today and it's like, okay, why the hell am I doing that? Where is my motivation? I can go and say, oh, okay, that's what I'm trying to achieve here. And I feel it also helps me having a place where I can just brain dump stuff. So if I need to do something, it directly goes in there. So it doesn't stay up here. It just I remove it from my brain, so I create less mental load, and that really helps me having more space for more creative things or for, my brain knows, okay, that this needs to happen. It's already, there is a timeline on it. It's planned in there. You can forget about it until the day where I actually have to do something about it. And I found it's very like freeing, and it's just really removing a lot of space in my brain for something else more interesting. So you would see that I'm an organized person with some structure, but structure that is really supporting my emotional need, my mental needs, and not just for the sake of having a perfect productivity tool, because I feel that would not be me, but just having like something really organized that supports me. And I have the same thing in my phone. So if you were going into my iPhone and you will see the notes, you will see I have notes for thoughts. I have notes for things I have to shop, I have to buy. I have notes for journaling. So if I realize, oh, I would like to think about this topic more, I have this question I would like to brainstorm a little bit more, I just drop in there. I have like holidays destinations because I really hate having to find new holiday destinations. So I did some good research last year. There are all this idea there already, pre-thought. Same thing for books. If I see a book I want to read, or if there is a quote from somebody that I like, I just capture it there. And I have also things like curiosity CAT scan. So curiosity, like I'm trying to see, ooh, what did pique my interest today? Like something that popped up, and I'm like, huh. I would like to go further, or like I would like to visit this, or I heard about this idea. Okay, let me just have a look. And same thing with joy. So I'm basically capturing all the thoughts that are popping up during the day, all the sometimes the creative ideas as well. If something is inspiring, I'm just directly writing it there. So yeah, you would say it's a place for creativity and gathering ideas, but also a place where I can capture, if I need to buy something because I realize I forgot like a toothpaste today. Well, it's on my list, so I don't need to think about it anymore, and it's somewhere. So when I have the time to go buy, then I just check. Okay, this is what I needed, and I found it's the same principle than ClickUp actually, except that I use it on a daily basis, and then sometimes I put some of these things on ClickUp at the end of the weekend. But it's basically helping me just capture as I go, like brain dumping stuff. And this is really important because sometimes if you have a lot of thoughts or a lot of like your brain is trying to keep all the thoughts in there. And I learned from I think from reading a book around the brain that actually the brain is not made to remember everything. The brain is meant to be used to process things, but if it's cluttered with trying to remember different bits of information, that's why you might feel a bit overwhelmed as well. So for me, I found this was very helpful to just like like leave it out there. It's there. My brain feels safe because it's captured, and I know it will happen. So this is just like on the go. I use the phone. In a more advanced way, I use the ClickUp. So yeah, you will see that I'm an organized person who is constantly brainstorming ideas and capturing thoughts and questions as well, and inspiration in the process. I also use notebooks because I don't know if you do that as well, but I really love buying a good piece of stationery, particularly if they are funny. So I have a few bits. I have this one that I don't know if you can see. Yeah, let me just check the camera. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so you have like Genius at Work. This is for ideas I have around, like businesses and things like that. So it's like written Genius at Work, good or evil to be confirmed. I have my pen and my journal for just like journaling in the morning. So it's called I'm Writing a Book. Its title is My Random Crap, which is pretty much that because I'm using it to do morning pages. If you ever read the book, the Artist's Way from Julia Cameron, she recommends every single morning to write 3 pages so that you can drop every single thought you have in your head or any idea or anything that is basically taking up mental load as well, and just put this on a piece of paper. So it's basically a lot of notes that are written very quickly, just like a conscious stream of words. So it's very impossible to read it back, but it's written, and I keep filling in the pages as I go. And then I have my my to-do list for the day, which is this notebook contains genius ideas because it does have a lot of things that are going to give result at some point. So yeah, you can see from this notebook, I really enjoy things with a little bit of playfulness, a lot of colors as well. I don't know. I have this need to be surrounded by things that bring a little bit of joy by simply just either being funny or just having some good vibes around it. And this is also a place where I capture things like, for instance, in my to-do list, I also capture what did I get to do today at the end of the day as a kind of gratitude practice, or just remembering, okay, this is what happened this day, and these are the things that I learned or the things that I really want to remember. And I put this in my ClickUp system later on so that I can still read them at the end of the year. I can say, okay, these are all the things I got to do this year. Look how amazing some of the big and small things were. And I just really try to capture that. And I really like the idea of having something on paper because I don't know if maybe I'm an old-fashioned lady who is turning 40 soon, but there is a power for me in writing, in using a pen and having like a proper solid things in your head rather than just putting it on a software. I feel there is a different way of processing what you're writing, or just remembering it, or attaching a different level of emotion. And I found that having these funny notebooks is always great. And I'm always very happy when I finish one and I need to go buy another one, and I can go in the shops and just like just like browse for who has written some weird quotes on it that I can enjoy. And if I don't, then I just add some stickers as well, just for decoration, just to make things a little bit more me and more personal. So yeah, you will see that I have a passion for notebooks, but also just creativity and in general capturing what's happening in my life in a more direct way. If you were looking at other things that could tell you a lot about me, I would say my camera roll is definitely the place to look for what I pay attention to. If I was opening it right now, you would see that there are like pictures of birds, there are pictures of nature, there are pictures of cats, there are pictures of random London art sculptures or paintings or things you can, graffiti on the wall, or like I like to walk in the street, and if I see something that is not making sense and should not be there, I take a picture. So I have sometimes, last time I found a T-Rex dinosaur in a random place in the street that had no business being here, and I was like, let me take a picture of this. Or if I run into a mouse in my coffee shop, yes, they have mice there. It's London, people. It's how it's happening. But yeah, I just take a video or things like this. So I'm always looking for like hidden places or little things that nobody will notice, because most people are just running in their life and not paying attention. But I'm like, yeah, I see that tiny detail that just bring me a little joy today. And I usually put this also on Instagram. My Instagram feed is the same thing. It's like all of these memories of little things, of good places, of birds and nature and everything that just bring me joy to look at later on. So yeah, you will notice from that I'm somebody who pays attention a lot, who is very present with the surrounding. What else can you see? You can probably see my bedroom. I mean, you can see a part of it. So you can see all the paintings. You can see some more paintings. There is a lot around in this room that is also interesting to look at. If you could see the whole room, you will see that it's very minimalist in general. It's a very small room in London, so you can't really do much. But I really like it this way because it's I like to be minimalist in general. I like to have like clean spaces because it gets very clumsy if you have like cluttered if you have a lot of things in such a small room. So it's very minimalist with lots of art put everywhere on the walls, on the furnitures as well, just to kind of create a space where I can feel it's actually me living here and not just some kind of neutral place, but still keeping it decluttered so it doesn't really create some more mental load as well, because I realized that if they are closed everywhere and stuff like this, it's always like very messy, and your brain is picking up on that messiness, unfortunately. So for me, it's like keep it clean, put things back in the drawers, have the minimum stuff out there, and some creation. And I still keep some stuff out, particularly the creative things. So for instance, I have my painting set just in front of me because it's easy. I know it's there. I can see it every single day. So it gives me the chance to directly want to do some more painting. And I have also like a few, comforting bits. Like I have my tiny little broccoli. I don't know if you can see what it says, positive broccoli. Or like, like small plushes or like very comfy blanket, just to create a space that is like me. And it's really something that brings me joy. It's something like minimalism, so some structure and good organization, but with the art as well, and some playfulness is really where it fits. And you will also notice that there is not a lot of things in my bedroom, because I actually currently live based on 6 luggages. I think this is how many things I had when I moved from Oxford to London. This is how little things I've kept in my life, how many times I've moved different countries. So obviously every time you move, you have to throw away your things. And I've really now narrowed it down to like, six luggages. It's all I have. And probably I can do less. So yeah, this is what you would see from me. So you will see, looking at all of it together, I think the pattern is that I'm somebody who is structured, organized, and has good system and minimalism as well involved, but also somebody who has creativity that you can see that is obvious. It's obvious for people in different small ways, and it's also like I'm also someone who really pays attention, who is really present, and try to find the good bits and capture them everywhere I go, to have them close to me. So yeah, this is me. This is what you would be looking at. I don't know if that would be convincing for a recruiter for jobs, but I think it's a pretty accurate picture of how I live my life, and I think it's also pretty accurate with the type of vibe I want to have, and with the way I want to live anyway. So yeah, I would be curious actually if you want to drop in the comments, if you had to explain your personality using completely random things, what would it before you, what would make the list, and how would you describe yourself from that? And yeah, if you don't know me, my name is Chloe, and I'm currently doing a creative challenge of posting daily videos on YouTube until I turn 40, which will be now in 29 days. And I started 51 days ago, and I talk about everything I've learned from the last 2 decades, things that I've learned, unlearned, things that I want to bring with me moving towards my 40s, things that I want to leave behind, definitely. And yeah, just trying to build a picture of who I am so that I can embrace that next decade with confidence and with a strong sense of identity. So if that's interesting for you, if you want to follow the journey, you can subscribe down below, and I will see you tomorrow for another video.